everyone, Jacqueline Thomas from Ignite HQ. This week I am going to be discussing 13 interview tips from employers. So number one is to research the company before your interview. So I know at least for millennials, we don't really think about this, but it is crucially important for you to research about the company, to just get a little bit of background of their company and, the history of their company and who's their CEO, who's, on the board of their directors, and anything like, where they were founded, who founded them, and things like that. So I would also suggest that you look on like Glassdoor to see what are the employees saying about that company. Like, is it a good place to work for? Is it not a good place to work for? What are some of the pros and cons of working there? The second one is to practice your answers to common questions. So I personally have been interviewed for probably about 8 jobs, and I'm pretty sure almost 100% of those people asked like the same questions. Like one is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So, to provide 3 of each. So start thinking ahead of time about what your weaknesses and strengths are. So for instance, if they say list 3 of your weaknesses, don't say that like you're late or, sometimes you don't show up, or something that basically, or you don't get along with coworkers. So one of the things that I've learned in my career planning class at KSU is like, for your weaknesses, you can say something like, I don't do well in an unorganized setting, which is true for me because I'm an extremely organized person. So number 3 is to reread the job description. So I know at least like for me, when I was researching for jobs, I was just sending out my, resume to everybody. So it's good that when you get somebody who is interested in you and they give you a call back and they want you to come in for an interview, that you review what you applied for. So you're not going in there blindsided. Number 5 is to bring copies of your resume, a notebook, and a pen. So I have this little portfolio, and you can get them like at TJ Maxx or Marshalls for like $6. And it basically has like a notebook, and then you can just put a pen in there, and then it has like a little folder on the side, and you can put copies of your resume in there. So don't assume that, 90% of employers will have a copy of your resume out and ready for your interview, but some employers actually expect you to bring another like copy of your resume. So it just shows that you're extra prepared and you're ready. So I suggest that you bring a few copies just in case something spills on one or one gets lost or anything like that. So just make sure you bring those objects with you. The pen and paper is just for you to, jot down notes, because employers love seeing that you're really into a company and you're really interested in it and you want to, get all the information you can. So that just shows that you're interested and that you really want the position. Arrive 15 minutes early before your interview. So a lot of people think that, if you're on time, that's great. But, 5 minutes here or there isn't going to matter. Wrong. Employers hate when you're late. And I actually saw that on a study, they said that 95% of employers automatically write you off as a candidate for the position if you are late. So that means only 5 out of 100 employers hire people who are late. So it's crucially important, especially with, Atlanta traffic and everything. You never know what's going to happen or what's going to be on any of the highways. So for me, I leave at least like an hour before my interview starts, and then I'll just, kind of hang out in the area if I'm super early or if there wasn't any traffic. So then that way you're just there and you're ready and prepared. And if the employer is late, then that's, on them. But you just need to make sure that you are there and that you are there on time. Another one is to make a great first impression. So first impression should be your best impression. So when I was interviewing for different jobs, like for Chick-fil-A and everything, I knew that I didn't have to wear slacks and a dressy top. I had seen people before, especially people who were interviewing with me, in khakis or in a shirt. That's fine, but I always think it's important for you to overdress than to underdress. So even if your boss or the employer is wearing, jeans and a t-shirt, you just want to make sure that you look your best. That's what I would suggest. Also, for first impressions, make sure that you are friendly to everyone that you encounter. Earlier, I had heard from someone that there was an employer and he asked the receptionist how the interviewee treated her. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So they literally want to know, like, are you, mean to everyone else and then you're just nice to me? So make sure that whether it's the parking attendant, if there is one, if there's like a parking garage, or the receptionist or an assistant or anything like that, that you are nice to everybody from the time that you walk into that interview until you get back to your car. Keep your answers concise and focused. So a lot of times it's really easy, especially when you're talking about yourself, to go on and ramble. Don't do that in their interview. Just get straight to the point and try to stay focused. This is not like a chill conversation with someone. Like, this is an interview. You are applying for a job that you want. This isn't, like a coffee date or with your friends. So even if you're getting a vibe, from your employer that, or your potential employer that, oh, I'm chill, I'm relaxed. You want to still, be professional. Don't speak negatively about your past employer. So this can be really hard, especially if you've been fired before, because you want to bad talk the company. Try your best / don't talk negatively about that company, because then that makes them think, okay, so is she going to bad talk and trash talk us if we fire her, or if, she leaves for some reason? So another thing is to be extremely confident and ask about the next steps. So that will kind of show the employer, not that you're a know-it-all or that you think, oh, I got this, like I'm hired, but it just kind of shows that they're like, wow, so she's like ready. Like, she feels like she's confident that she, excelled all the other interviewees. And that she's ready to work at our company. So ask about the next steps. How quickly will you follow up? How will you follow up? Will it be whether a call or, another meetup or a second interview or a group interview or an email, or some companies are doing texts? How will I know, if I got the position, and when should I hear from you? And lastly, send a personalized thank you note right after the interview within a 24-hour period. It's just so many people forget thank you letters, and if you can write one, that would be even better. But I feel like email is better because you can get it quicker in that in that time window. So those are the tips that I researched, and the link for the credit for them is below. But don't forget to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.